tomorrow we could see things differently, but the way it's going right now, we better put it on hold. It's your 17th message in 17 minutes. I can't reply no more, my head's not in it. Don't mean to shut you down, but I'ma put down this phone. So patiently, I'm listening. I know that you've been up waiting for me. Alright, I'll tell you. Before you go lay down, unlock the door. As soon as I get home, I'll be all yours. Let me come inside, and we can reconcile. All night, all night, all night. Let me come inside, and we can reconcile. All night, all night, all I can break it down to the beat. One heart between you and me. Make you forget I'm better me. Remember how sweet this love can be. I can break it down to the beat. One heart between you and me. Make you forget I'm better me. Remember how sweet this love can be. Love can be. Love can be. Love can be. It's all yours. It's all yours. Let me come inside, and we can reconcile. All night, all night, all night. Let me come inside, and we can reconcile. All night, all night, all
I'm told You're my little teen girl, knocking at your door. I want the candy Halloween girl. It was nice to eat you. I mean, it's nice to meet you. I might twist my words, take too much and get a sweet tooth. Wait, mama said you gotta watch your hell now. Hey, things are getting heated, watch your melt now. Wait, every time
Talk to me. Spill the secrets you've been keeping. Life cuts deep. Let me help pick up the pieces. You're not alone, I'm by your side. Don't you know I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. No matter what, I'll make it right. Don't you know I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. I'm not an angel, I'm not a saint. I've been a closed book full of mistakes. But when you're broken, when you're in pain, I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. You know I don't pretend to be a savior, but let me in. Yeah, I promise nobody can break us. You're not alone, I'm by your side. Don't you know I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. No matter what, I'll make it right. Don't you know I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. I'm not an angel, I'm not a saint. I've been a closed book full of mistakes. But when you're broken, when you're in pain, I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire with you. You're not alone, I'm by your side. Don't you know I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. I'm not an angel, I'm not a saint. I've been a closed book full of mistakes. But when you're broken, when you're in pain, I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire. I walk through fire with you. I walk through fire with you.
When could he be? Exhale and fire.
Somewhere, maybe under your bed, at the back of the shelf, you hid the photographs of us. I doubt, have you taken the photo with someone else? Our pictures fading into this. Yeah, it's crazy that it gets just the way it is. But since you said all your memories intact. He lived out of town just to relive. Been a part of my life, I go back to the time. Now it's yours and you were mine. Yeah, it's crazy that it does, it's just the way it is. For what it's worth, know that I would do it all again. I'm going crazy, thinking about the ways that things could have been between us. All I do is just pretend.
Somebody, yeah. I wanna take shots with somebody. Shots. I wanna leave with somebody. And we ain't gotta tell nobody. We ain't gotta tell nobody. You should tell me right now. This ain't my money. Please don't call me on my bluff.
No, you don't know what I saw in my dreams. My dreams. Why did you go? My dreams now they haunt me. They haunt me.
Separation confirmed. In the end, I will always catch you.
Executed. Shut down.
Take the shot.
Has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
It's been a long time since I saw you. Do you remember all the things we used to be before? Happy days ran away, what a waste of everything we know. Now I'm lying here filled with fear, so unclear, giving up my hope. Whoa.
Let me be your heartbeat. Let me be your heartbeat. Let me be your heartbeat. Just the thought of you makes my heart move. Just the thought of you makes my heart go into the groove. Oh, oh, 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 into the groove. And I wanna be your heartbeat tonight. And I wanna be your heartbeat tonight. Oh, and I wanna be your heartbeat tonight. And we can be all that you wanna be if you just let me be your heartbeat.
I cannot believe that you're still on this same old song. I ain't gonna live a life so much more than a part-time lover. I'm leaving you tonight. You ain't even got it going on. I ain't gonna live a life so much more than a part-time lover. I'm leaving you tonight. You ain't even got it going on. I'm leaving you tonight. Oh
can't keep up with that, 'cause I don't get down with that. I won't go on with that, on with that, on with that.
On this same old song, 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 this same old song, 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 same old song. Ain't even got it going on. Same old song. Ain't even got it going on. I ain't gonna live a lie. So much more than a part-time lover. I'm leaving you tonight. You ain't even got it going on. I ain't gonna live a lie. So much more than a part-time lover. I'm leaving you tonight. You ain't even got it going on. You ain't even got it. I'm leaving you tonight. Going on. I'm leaving you tonight. I ain't gonna live a lie. Going on. You ain't even got it. 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 Ain't even got it.
Take a seat, right over there. Sat on the stairs, stay or leave. The cabinets are bare, and I'm unaware of just how we got into this mess. Got so aggressive. I know we meant all good intentions. So pull me closer. Why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle, baby. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle. In the middle. Why don't you take a seat. Right over there, sat on the stairs, stay or leave. The cabinets are bare and I'm unaware of just how we got into this mess. Got so aggressive. I know we meant all good intentions. So pull me closer, why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby.
What do I got that I do not think about? Nothing now 'cause I'm living it out. Lose my way when there's no one else around. What's gold-plated? I'm trading it. I'ma shower me with diamonds. Set the rules, I feel like you. I can't sleep, I feel like dying. Wide awake without a clue. You feel it, quit faking it. You feel it, you breathe. I'ma shower me with diamonds. I can't sleep, I feel like dying. What do I want from a shadow on the ground? Nothing now 'cause I figure it out. Lose my way when the darkness comes around. What's gold-plated? I'm fading, yeah. I'ma shower me with diamonds. Got the rules, I feel like you. I can't sleep, I feel like dying. I can't sleep, I feel like dying.
reason why I played Caitlyn instead of... Oh no, sorry. The main reason why I played Caitlyn was because I had a feeling something would happen this game. And I didn't really want to play Kalista because if I played Kalista, it would actually counter Amumu really well, to be honest. So I was like, should I play Kalista, which counters Amumu, or should I troll this game and see who actually... Because if you think about it, like the whole boosting community kind of runs on the same concept I use for this game, which is, you know, I boost you and hopefully you will come back and buy more from me. Does that make sense? So it's kind of the same concept as me, where I'm like, you know, I'll give you the gold, I'll give you the kills, and see if you come back and fucking help me. Right? And another thing with Caitlyn is, a lot of times whenever people play Caitlyn, they're like, oh, that's a rich person, you know? So, like, we have to play victim if we lose. And, you know, so I'm just kind of like, you know, yeah, I have connections, but I don't want you to stop playing the game. Does that make sense? Because I already know, like, all the people who quit, their excuse when they're not a booster or getting banned, you know, legitly. Most of the time when someone wants to quit League of Legends, their excuse is, oh, it's not fair. You know, they're just rich and I don't have any money. That's usually their, like, common excuse, you know, and then they play victim, like, oh, everybody's bullying me, you know, they're scripting and whatever, you know. So I already know all the excuses that they can possibly pull out. So I'm like, okay, well, I am not scripting, so you cannot use that excuse. I have money, but I'm letting you win and you're still scripting. Does that make sense? And the worst part is, it's like, I did not take the kills. Thank you for reminding me. Most of the time when someone is ADC, they will take all the kills, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, if you're going to take all the kills and you're going to take all the gold, then you're supposed to carry the game. But I purposely fed my whole entire team because I noticed that the whole reason the boosting community does not work in North America is because, you know, in Korea and China, right? The reason why they're hacking and they're scripting and all of that works is because they know they're not going to be able to escape the community. You know what I mean? Like, if someone's going to boost you, there's no way anybody's going to believe you can play the game. But for some fucking reason, in North America, you can get boosted and people actually think you're capable. Does that make sense? Like, in Korea and China, like, nobody's gonna believe that you're actually capable of playing the game because everybody knows you're being boosted by this person. So if that person is like, yeah, you know, this person stopped paying me, everybody's just gonna shit on him. But that's not how it works in North America, and that's kind of why I'm taking a step back and I'm feeding my team. Because I'm like, well, Braum, I gave you gold. And I helped you. Does that make sense? Because they're like, most of the North American complaint is like, oh, it's not fair. Oh, this person didn't help me. And I'm like, I'm literally giving you all the gold and you still did nothing with it. I was helping you the whole entire fucking game. I gave you all the fucking gold and you did nothing to help me. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just kind of tired of the excuse that a lot of Americans use, because that is probably one of the main reasons. Oh my gosh, that's probably like one of the main reasons why I think that is probably one of the main reasons why it never fucking works in North America and it only works in Korea and China. Dude, how is this thing still so popular? Anyways, but yeah, I'm just saying this because it's like I'm kind of tired of like all these people being boosted in North America queue, and then people like, you know what I mean? Like, the boosters are like the most respected players in Korea and in China, because Riot knows, like Riot in China and Riot in Korea, they know that these boosters, they are gambling, they are selling boosts, they are selling skins, they are hacking, they are doing all this so they can play the game. And so they can travel to another country. Like, say if League of Legends was like, has an international competition in Korea, they're boosting and they're selling accounts because they want to be able to go to these events. You know what I mean? That's why in Korea and China, it's so hard to ban these people. But Like, in North America, I just don't really understand why you're reporting these people and you do not buy more products from Riot. You know, because I know a lot of people who are like hackers in America. Like, I understand you don't really come from a wealthy background, and that's why you are hacking, and that's why you are selling these things, and that's why you do all these illegal things. Because it's like you have no other way of having income, right? Does that make sense? So it's kind of like, well, if this person's doing this much to buy Riot stuff when they cannot afford it, like, and you're doing nothing and you have money and you refuse to spend money on Riot Games, if I was Riot Games, I would ban you. Because I want people to spend money on Riot. If you're not going to spend money on Riot, I would ban you. And it seems like people who are boosting spend way more money. Does that make sense? Because, you know, when people are boosting, they're like, oh yeah, you know, I gotta make this account look good. I gotta make it look good. You know, I cannot have complaints and all that stuff. And then they try to make it all look good. So they spend a lot more time and a lot more money playing League of Legends. And people who are boosted, they're just like, oh yeah, well, I'm just gonna get away with it anyways. And then you see how that cycle, like, ruins the whole NA LCS situation? Like, in Europe, there's also a lot of, like, local situations where it's like, you know, the government does not really protect your rights. In Europe, you know, like, if you're gonna play victim in Europe, the law kind of works against you. So that's why in Europe it does not happen. Does that make sense? I think the laws in Europe really protect, like, the hackers a lot more. You know, because like, Europe's just like, okay, well, this person's hacking, we don't care. And in America, it's like, oh my gosh, it's a hacker. Like, Snowden and Wikipedia are very good examples of when, you know, and then Dreadpirate and all that. So I'm just putting that out there, that the way that I play, I purposely try to pretend that I'm like a booster, you know? Like, a booster tends to give you stuff, hoping that you will come back, right? Because when you're boosting someone, or if you're selling an account to someone, or if you're boosting someone from bronze to silver, there is no guarantee that they will come back, right? They can quit anytime. You know what I mean? So this is kind of the same concept where it's like, yeah, I can help and feed my support player, hoping that he helps me back. So if you think I'm really against the community, I'm not. I'm against people who do not help the people that help them. Does that make sense? If a person boosted you for a cheaper price than he charges to anybody else, and then you go and get that person banned for giving you a fucking discount, kind of seems like this Braum, right? I gave him the fucking gold, and he used it to fuck me. Isn't that the same concept? If NALCS loses, you only have yourself to blame. I am literally trying to make people actually loyal, so then people can boost and script and not be like, you know what I mean? So we can kind of have the same competition as Korea and China, but you guys just don't give a fuck. So if China and Korea keep winning everything, or if EU LCS is still better than NA because the government decided to protect the Bitcoin hackers, like, you have yourself to blame. You talk big, but you never deliver. That's not a Korea problem. That's not a China problem. That's not a fucking Europe problem. That's a you problem. I think it is because of people like this who constantly complain and never bring any kind of evidence that Korea, China, and Europe all ignore these reports. Because they just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear your fucking lies because they know the truth. So they just ignore all these reports.